Do it. Let's go. Let's go.
G'day everyone and welcome to episode 242 of Aussie Tech Heads. Right around Australia, right around New Zealand, the world. I need a map of the world. And how are you all this episode? Hello, Will and Eric. How are you boys tonight?
Hello, Glenn. How are we?
Yeah, not too bad. We had a little duplex going there. Skype is behaving itself for 5 seconds. Yes, tonight we're recording live on the 9th of June. And we're a little bit late again tonight, but anyway, that's what happens in a big city. You can watch us live too if you like on live.thesecrethub.com at around about 7:30. Normally, that's when the shenanigans start. Anyway, 7:30 on a Thursday night, Queensland time. And just preceding us also is a replay, an encore of the techwebcast.info. So tune in from about 7 o'clock and you'll get the replay of Tech Info leading into Aussie Tech Heads at about 7:30. And also you can follow me on Twitter at Aussie Tech Head. Join and follow and call in live on Skype if you're in the lounge, live on Skype, Aussie Tech Head. Oh, yeah, man. Ask us
I wouldn't recommend it, but okay.
Well, it's on a different computer, so hopefully that would work. I challenge anyone in the lounge to ring in and see what happens, and then we'll know who to bash if it fails. So all right, that's all right. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Beautiful. You can follow me on Twitter as well, Aussie Tech Head, and you can contact us by email. And Will now and Eric, and Glenn at aussietechheads.com.au.
They're separate, in case you're wondering. It's not Will or Eric and Glenn. It's one or the other.
It's Will or Eric or Glenn at aussietechheads.com.au. All right, now it's been a big week, you would say, a big week for Apple at least. Apple's Steve Jobs, he's back on stage. What about for 20 minutes all up? Would that be about right?
Yeah, he's looking very frail, isn't he?
Oh, look, I saw him and like poor bastard. Yeah, he doesn't look good, eh? Like
I don't know what he's talking about. He's fit and healthy, and maybe it's because I had him in widescreen and it wasn't a widescreen podcast.
Yeah, widescreen fattens him up a bit.
He looks tired.
Yeah. Look, he looked pretty crook actually, and like even just from the back view, when like he wasn't even like he doesn't fill out his pants or anything, so he's very very skinny. Not that I go around looking at things like that, but he's very very skinny, and so you can only but wish him all the best because he's actually taking Apple for a ride by the sounds of it. I mean, for a ride as into up and away. So Eric, you're the Mac boy on the panel. You'd have a few comments about
Allegedly.
Yeah, well, you've got one, a newer one, shall I say? You got the newest Mac of us all. I've got the iPad, I suppose, yes. But yes, yeah. So you tell us a bit about what has happened through the week and why Jobsy was on stage.
Well, Apple have got a very, I like Apple products. I think they're well made and they're pretty or beautiful, depending on how you want to look at it. But they do suck you in with the reality distortion field. There's no doubt about it. So I've got iOS 5 on my little iPhone here, and look, it's good. It's
So now, how did you iOS 5? Now the normal person can't download that. How have you got it?
I've got the developer. I'm just holding up to the camera here. I won't tell you what suburb I'm in. So that's the front. That's the front screen. Now you can.
Okay, bit of a movement, a moving front screen by the look of it.
Yeah.
So how do you download the developer version? Is that available to anyone that wants to give it a shot, or have to be a developer?
You have to develop a license.
Oh, there you go. All right.
There you go.
So I'm sure if you want to do that, you'd have to just talk to Apple, find out how to do that. But yeah, so
but you can join. You just got to pay them money.
Oh, okay, right.
You can join as an individual for $100 a year.
Right.
And get that's for the iPhone stuff. You can get whatever you want from there for $100 a year. But be aware they are they shouldn't be using them on production machines because they will crash your machines if they're not quite ready for prime time.
Yeah. So how's the iOS 5 going for you though?
So far, it's not too bad. I've had them in the past where they've just crashed. You go to make a phone call and the numbers don't show up, stuff like that.
Okay. Right. So
pretty hard to make a call if I can't see the keypad.
Yeah.
But
so when do they
this one, it's pretty stable.
Right. when do they hope that it's going to be released to the
Well,
to the
the
wild?
iOS 5 will be out in July, so next month
Yes.
it'll be out. That'll be a free upgrade for all iPhone users, customers, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and that's for the iPad as well.
So got look, it's working well. It hasn't slowed down the system. It's still just as quick. So that's what I was worried about. That new software upgrade might just make it a pig, but it's actually quite good. It's got the cloud stuff on it. It's got the syncing. So if I buy something on a song on my iTunes, it goes directly to whatever device I've signed into with that same username. So if I've got 5 PCs or 5 Macs or whatever it is, because it's compatible with Macs as well, not PCs as well, not just Macs. So I buy it on my iPhone, and it'll just go straight to my iPad, straight to my computers, the same song, and vice versa.
So does it actually does it
You can turn that
download?
off, though.
Does it download
What's
to the
that?
device though, Eric? Does it download to the PC, or is it just available
Yes.
to be played?
No, it downloads it. It's complete sync.
Okay,
Can you
right.
turn that off?
You can turn it off, yeah. You've got an option to turn it off.
Cool.
You can
Because that'd
just
be
plug
rather
it in
annoying.
and everything. Why is that?
I mean, if it does it, if you've got the option to turn off, it's okay. But if you just did it to every system automatically, I reckon that'd get annoying after a while, especially if you're on a capped data.
Oh, well, it'd be annoying on your phone because you're on a capped data, but when you're at home, really, it's not going to, a song's only 1.2 megabytes. It's not a big deal.
Well,
If you download a movie and it goes to, suddenly you download a high-def
Oh,
iTunes movie and it goes to all of your devices.
No, it only does it for songs and podcasts. It doesn't do it for movies
Ah, okay. It's not too bad. then.
because it's too
Not
big a
bad
file.
then.
It's too big a file for the
So
movies.
now it's been named iCloud. Is this right?
Yeah, got the iCloud on there, and I'll show you the little hold that up to the camera.
So now this is
a
all
little-
free for the moment. Oh, you can't see that. It's
Moment, it is, yeah, for the moment.
you can't see it.
That's
It's
the
just
I
a
don't know
white
if you
screen.
can't see. Probably can't see that. It's too bright.
Yeah.
Because it's cloudy.
Yeah.
And I've also got the developer preview 6 of Lion, which is pretty nice too.
Right, and you've installed that as well.
I've installed that on my production machine, which is a bit silly. On the Mac Pro laptop, not the
Right.
Mac that I'm recording this show on.
Good.
But just in case. But no, that's really nice. It's really, really nice. It's fast. It's a very good. It's better with the resource handling and the battery management. It's much better. I've noticed.
Yeah, another good
the mail
advantage.
program is really nice on it.
Yeah.
Everything. It's all very nice. Very nice.
Another good advantage with the Lion is apparently is going to be out next month from the Mac App Store, and it's only like around $32.
Yeah.
Yeah,
$32. That's 5 machines, mind you. That's $6 a machine.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's good. That's good. Geez, that there. So yeah.
So I got 4 Macs in this household, so I'll only have to buy 1 copy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So it's
Beautiful.
also known as it's called Lion, but also known as Mac OS X 10.7. So it's the
10.7.
eighth version of the OS X operating system, and includes none less than 250 new features. So the new
You
features.
never use all of them. You probably only ever use 10 of them.
Yeah. Now, is it true that new features that they try and get away with like a new dot on the font or something?
Yeah, that's right. They all do it. They all do that. They say, oh, it's got a new font, so that's one feature, and it's a different size, so that's feature number 2.
Yeah. Now,
So they
It's
all
like
do
when
it.
you buy
know.
it's like when you buy a toolkit from Supercheap, and it's a 7,000-piece toolkit, and 6,995 of those are zip ties. One piece is a toolkit, and you get 2 Phillips head and 2 flathead screwdrivers. I mean, it's the same sort of principle.
is that
Well, that's right. Mike said it last week that their new Windows 8 is going to have 500 new features. Well, I hope 499 of them work because it's so fun,
So now apparently the upgrade to Lion from 10.6 Snow Leopard Mac users running the Intel CPUs simply download the OS X Lion from the App Store, which will be available in next month, they say, July. That's right, when it becomes available. But controversially, it says here, it seems that the software will not be available to purchase separately on disk. So those without an internet connection, too bad, too sad. Now, I don't think that's a big a big drawback. Who hasn't got internet these days?
I think if you didn't have an internet connection, you're probably not even going to know it exists anyway.
I'm sure.
Yeah, look, I think I'm aiming that at a lot of government workers work internally on Macs in the US, especially without being access to the internet because for security reasons. It's all internal, internal intranets and
But they
LANs
won't.
and
They
all that.
won't allow a new update on an OS anyway until it's been tested and passed for security anyway.
That's
so
right.
it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah,
anyway.
it's going to be 3 years before they install Line anyway, and I'm sure Apple will give them a whole bunch of disks. People like that with security issues, but.
Yeah.
For the consumer and the rest of the world, who hasn't got an internet connection?
Yeah, that's right. But you reckon that even so, like you reckon if you paid your $30, you could probably go. You'd think you could go into the Apple store with a USB drive. You think they'd put it on for you? Give them the $30?
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
They'd put it on for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And wave your ta-das and away you go.
It takes 15 minutes to install.
That's not bad, eh?
That's all. 15 minutes.
Well,
I just pressed the button and I walked away. Came back and it was done.
Because I think the reason why the Mac software installs so fast, like as compared to the Windows software, where it could take Windows 7 could take, I don't know. Well, how long did that take you to? You did a video actually through the week on installing.
My video
Windows
was only
7.
18 minutes long, and the install of that was only about 13 minutes of that.
Well, that's not too bad.
That's not bad. That's a clean install, though, is it, Will?
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's not too
on
bad.
an upgrade, it takes a bit longer. It's a bit of a pain. But on a clean install, it's very, very fast.
Yeah, and
I've
that
done
was
it
me. That was me slowing it down so you could see all the screens as I went through. So you could. I was going to say you could probably cut it down to 10 minutes, and that was off a USB drive too.
Yeah, no, I've done it in 10 minutes, no problem. On a completely wiped system, it's very fast.
The slowest part of that was because it was on a USB thumb drive. So if you had it on CD, you'd take 5 minutes off the copying time.
Now maybe.
Yeah, I had mine on an external USB drive, so it was lightning quick.
Now maybe maybe not so much a kick in the guts to some people, but some users that didn't upgrade their machines in a little while, any users that are 10.5 or earlier will need to go to Snow Leopard before they can go to
Snow Leopard first. So they have to pay $129 for Snow Leopard.
Yeah,
and in order to $30 for Lion.
Yeah, so Snow Leopard that had a good take up, did it, Eric?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that was Leopard was fast, but compared to Snow Leopard was the Vista.
Oh, seriously?
Was the Windows Vista? Yeah.
I remember
Snow Leopard is really quick.
I remember. Whenever Snow Leopard came out, I remember when Mark was on the show, he was saying he installed the Snow Leopard and he had a few devices that didn't work and he ended up taking it off. I'm not sure what he's up to now, whether he's gone to the snow side or what? Because he was calling it the Slow Leopard, but he must have had some issues.
System you've got, so
yeah.
So I mean, I've got an old Mac there that's running 10.3.9. That's as far as I can go with it because it's a Power Mac.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, if I wanted to, even if I wanted to continue to support Apple with that system, I couldn't. So.
Yeah, because sorry, I'm just adjusting things here, but yeah, I know because they're. With the Mac, I loaded up Skype the other day on the Mac because I've got the Power PC, and it said, "Oh, there's an update for Skype available." So like any silly person does, they upgrade. And then it didn't work because the new version needed an Intel CPU. You'd think it would have said, wouldn't you? Like, "Hey, need a Intel CPU here, Glennie. Don't download it."
Yeah.
But also just sticking with Apple there, yeah, we mentioned that the iOS's new version is coming out for the iPhone and iPad. New features, notifications, and new emails, missed calls, and other events in a more intelligent fashion.
It's very good.
Yeah, somewhat reminiscent of the way Google's Android fart phones.
They're pretty much. Can you see that?
Oh, turn it to a side a bit more. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's the notifications when it comes up.
Yeah, right. I tell you, those push notifications are good, aren't they?
Yeah, they're good. Look, I just wanted to mention before as well that a lot of people have been doing in the news that it's this matching system. It's not going to be out in Australia till our spring. The iTunes matching system for your songs.
Yeah.
Does anyone know how that works?
Yeah.
Well, the record industry are screaming, going, "Oh, this is piracy," legitimizing piracy. And what it's doing is basically when you got the latest iTunes, which will be 10.5, by the way, when it's finally up and running.
Yeah.
At the moment, up to 10.3 or 10.2, but you can go to 10.3. But when it's the matching one, it'll be to 10.5. It'll scans your iTunes library. You don't have to upload anything. It'll match the songs that you've got on your library, whether you've ripped it from a disc, paid for it via iTunes, or you've stolen it, ripped from a torrent. It'll match those songs and make it available for you in your cloud locker. Now, the industry going, oh, that's not fair, that's not fair. But in order to use the matching system, you've got to pay $25 a year, right? Now, that's not a lot of money. But when you consider there's 250 million iTunes accounts on iTunes. Someone did a figure the other day that if 50 million people took up the $25 a year, it's something like $1.3 billion that the record industry are going to make. In other words, they're now getting paid for the piracy, whereas they weren't before. So to me, they've got really nothing to complain about.
Because apparently, is it 60% the record companies are taking out of that $25?
It'll be about I reckon it's going to be 50-50. So they'll get an extra between $400 and $700 million a year, whereas of money that they weren't getting before.
Yes.
From piracy. So what are they screaming about?
But does that turn around and say clear the way to pirate? Because if they're accepting money on the proviso that okay, this is for the people that pirate, does that then make piracy?
Well, look, I don't think so, because I think if people want to pirate, they will pirate. They do it anyway. I don't pirate. I've never stolen a song because the quality is usually shit.
Yeah.
But I've always paid for my songs, or ripped a DVD that I purchased, or a CD that I purchased.
But I mean,
look, I think if people pirate, they're going to pirate.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, there's 4 major music labels, and they're going to split $700 million between them every year in perpetuity for sitting on their ass doing nothing. So I don't know what they're spewing about.
Yeah, but what I was sort of trying to get at was, is it going to legitimise piracy?
Yeah, people might go, well, I'm not going to buy songs from now on. I'm just going to pirate. But I think Apple will put something in, like if I'll be able to tell if it's a pirated copy, and if it's such low quality, I'm not going to give you a match.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it wouldn't be too hard to put a key in the coding, and then if your song hasn't got, but then you're going to rip your own CD. Yeah, tricky. I'm sure they'll work it out.
CDs are okay because you already paid for that. They'll know that it's a legitimate copy because it's got all the metadata inbuilt into it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
It's the quality of the pirated songs usually are crap that enables it to go between the peer-to-peer networks really quickly. So they've got to really compress them. And the Apple systems and whatever computer they've got that does all the meta matching, they'll be able to tell which is which, and they just won't give it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I'm sure they're smart cookies over there. You see,
yeah, well, biggest tech company in the world, so I think they're doing something right.
Yeah, and I just want to check. Have we still got Will there?
I'm still here, but I don't think my video's working.
Yeah, we'll just leave it as is. So we won't be able to cross live to Will. So all the big sign in the lounge,
which is a pity because then I couldn't show you the iPhone 4 that I've got in my hand.
Oh, you got an iPhone?
Did you get an iPhone?
Hey,
yeah, you lie.
I do. No, I have it in my hand, but you can't see it. Yeah.
Oh well.
What made you do that? Let's talk about Wilbur's iPhone 4. What made you do that?
It's not his.
No. Well,
you
it's
found
mine.
it.
And, no. But I can't do anything with it anyway because I haven't got a micro SIM, so I can't activate it.
Oh, I see. But anyway, it's just
Where you get it from?
It's on a commercial contract, but it's just they got like 100 phones, and it's one of the ones they're not using at the moment. That's why I can't use their SIM to activate it because then they'll have to pay for that SIM. But I mean, I need to get another one.
SIM.
Yeah,
You just got to walk into a. Don't go to Telstra, dude. Just don't go anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
So just
that's the thing. Like, I thought, oh, cool, I can just use it and put apps on it and use it as as for playing with, basically, to learn about the iOS. But you can't do anything because you can't activate it.
Are you sure you can't activate it without a SIM?
I can
Have you
activate
plugged
it.
in?
Yeah, it won't let me do it.
But what do you want to activate it for? What does that mean? Yeah, well, why don't
You need to because you can't use the phone without activating it.
So you can't even use the non-phone features. Is that what you're telling me?
Nope. Can't use anything. It won't let you pass you turn it on, you slide it across, and it brings up emergency calls only. That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah, it looks for the carrier settings, doesn't it? And if you haven't got a SIM, it won't let you.
Why can't you put a SIM into it, activate it, then take the SIM out?
Well, it's a micro
it's a
SIM.
micro
It's not a normal SIM card.
Can't you cut them up with scissors?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you
does.
actually You can get a micro SIM cutter for those.
Yeah, I've tried with one card and it didn't work, but that could have just been the fact that I don't know if the card was working properly in the first place. So, but
I'd
yeah,
get
it
it
means
just
we're going to have to actually go and fork out some money and buy one. I was going to get one of those Anywhere Sims or whatever they call them.
So Brad's in the lounge saying you've plugged it into iTunes, but I guess you've already done that.
I've done that, but it doesn't actually let you do anything because the phone's not activated.
But just to give you an idea of how big Apple is at the moment, as Eric was just saying, that it's the biggest tech company in the world, and he wouldn't be far wrong, if at all. Apple has bought $17.5 billion worth of chips last year.
They're called semiconductor chips, yeah.
Yes,
Right.
yeah, and it's that's making it leading the way. It's past Hewlett Packard as the largest consumer. This was an increase of 80% from the year before.
That's amazing.
It is. Samsung Electronics, which makes a wide variety of electronics, and PC maker Dell were the number 3 and 4 chip buyers. Nokia's number 5. Apple bought $17.5 billion of chips. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then you turn around and there's another story here about what jobs he's going to build a new home, is he? Where was that story? I had that is.
Oh, the UFO looking thing.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
To the Apple campus.
Is that what he's going to call it?
I don't know what he's going to call it, but it's just where they work.
It's actually on well, depending on which report you read, according to it's not actually an addition. It's going to be the entire Apple campus is going to hold all their employees plus double that capacity, and it's going to be fully self-powered and self-supporting. So,
yeah.
I heard that because they're busting at the seams at their current campus. He bought Hewlett Packard's block of dirt next door.
Yeah.
And he's going to put that next door. I think they're going to use the whole lot.
Well, this structure is going to be made from huge sheets of curved architectural glass. And he said that there's not. It's and Jobsy. This is a quote from Jobsy. It's a circle and curved all the way around. This is not the cheapest way to build something. There's a straight piece. There's not a straight piece of glass in this building. I think we have a shot at building the best office building in the world. And yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, look at their Apple stores. You'll know that.
Yeah, and he will. Apple has purchased the land, which, as Eric said, formerly known, was home to HP's Computer Systems division. Jobs recounted that it was where he had landed his first summer job at the age of 13 after contacting Bill Hewlett for some spare parts to build a frequency counter. There you go.
Yeah, he used to be a phone freaker.
Yes, that's right. That's right. He wants to provide a home for 12,000 staff.
So I've got 13,000 here.
Yeah, well, it's the exchange rate. So Apple staff were currently scattered around Cupertino at quote not very good rental properties. Jobsy said. So 4 levels of parking will be built beneath this huge curved glass building, which Jobs argued would enhance the landscape by removing 90% of the existing parking space. So there you go. And
why? Because if he puts everything on the ground, what he's going to do is plant 6,000 trees that aren't already there. So if anything, he's going to green it up.
Yeah.
Well, according to this, he's going. I love the figures they've got. He's going to landscape anywhere between 20 and 80% of it. That's like saying.
What sort of figure is that? Weird figure.
Between 20 to 80%. So there's a possibility that 20% won't be or 20% might be. What?
So he's obviously pretty keen on this block of dirt. He's obviously pretty keen because he's even given a bit of a warning, not a warning. Well, you could probably call it a warning. A bit of commentary, provided some commentary aimed at the state government or the council, whatever you have, however Cupertino works. He goes, as you know, we're the largest taxpayer in Cupertino, so we'd like to stay here. If we can't, we'd have to go someplace like Mountain View, and we'd take our current people with us.
That'd be a massive drain on their economy, that local economy, if they did that.
I think he's just
crazy to let that through.
Yeah, crazy not to let it through. Did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Crazy
he's
not to let it through.
Yeah, they've
got to let it.
He's just secured this. He's just secured this block of dirt and the building. He went on to say the largest tax base would go away. That wouldn't be good for Cupertino, and that wouldn't be good for us either. And one member of the council panel asked if Apple would provide Wi-Fi to the city, and Jobs returned the volley and said, "I'm a simpleton. I've always had the view that we pay taxes and the city should do these things. That's why we pay taxes. Now, if you can get out of paying taxes, I'd be glad to put in Wi-Fi. So,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's why he's no fool.
yeah, no, that's right. That's right.
They get rich off Apple's the taxes they pay and the the fact that all these people are buying things in the local area, whether it be lunches or clothes or cars or accommodation or movie tickets, whatever, and they want more. Typical government, greedy little shits.
And also, just money is not the only thing that you can lose to obtain an iPad. I don't know if you guys heard about this kid in China.
Oh, good God.
Oh, isn't this disgraceful? The 17-year-old.
If I knew that, I would have given him one.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? He identified only as Little Zheng, a 17-year-old, told a TV station he arranged the sale of his kidney over the internet, and he used the money to buy an iPad. So he received, for his kidney, $3,392. With the cash, he bought an iPad and a laptop. When his mother noticed the computers and the deep red scar on his body, she knew something was up or out.
Something was up, all right. Was he sort of in pain a lot?
How do you even?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. It's crazy.
An in and out operation or what? What's going on?
I mean, who did the operation? The thing is, okay, he might have sold it for $3,000, but who did the operation for free?
Oh, Dr. Elderstein.
No, he was that was he went through a broker. So
Broker, a kidney broker.
so he was paid the 3,000, but so he was paid.
The guy paid
$100,000
$100,000 for it, and he got $3,000.
That's right.
That's right. The kidney broker would have got 100.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can broker anything.
My broker, stock broker, no, my kidney.
It's that sort of thing you can do twice, though.
Well, yeah, this is right.
This died on the table. Good. Who knows what sort of doctor he would have got?
Oh, I know.
Some back out.
Yeah, he's going to end
I'm
up.
sure if Jobsy had known about it, he wouldn't have allowed them to buy the iPad with dirty money.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't have.
No,
not after what he's been through.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, look at that. Well, maybe Jobsy bought it, but who knows?
The wrong body organ.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. The other one. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's enough Apple stories. I think that's all that we've had this week, isn't it? All in the news. That's all that's been going on. It's just Apple here.
No. Nintendo's been in there as well.
Yeah, we've got a few Nintendos, but we'll end off the Apple segment. Has anyone else got any more Apple?
One more quickly, and it's in my normal tradition. I'll bring them down a peg. iOS 5 was jailbroken in under 24 hours.
That's right.
Yep, it was broken in about 4 hours, actually.
Look, I can probably see the advantages of probably jailbreaking your iDevice, but for me, I couldn't care less. I don't want to. I bought the Apple for it to work as it's supposed to. I didn't buy it to jailbreak it and have it work like some other piece of
Yeah, because if you wanted those sort of apps, you'd just get an Android device.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Exactly. All right. So,
and that's not having a go at Apple. That's just stating a fact. If you want it to do things it's not designed to do, get an Android device.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So let's move on a little bit, and we might move on to how about, I don't know, what do you want to talk about now?
All right, let's get a bit closer to home, eh? Let's do something like, how about Ergon Energy?
Yeah.
Well, you know that over the last 6 months we haven't exactly had a good run with storms and floods and everything else. Well, why did I click on the Ergon Energy store and it bring up an iPhone?
So where does Ergon Energy provide for?
Well, Ergon Energy is basically Queensland. Well, it's one of the different. They're kind of everywhere now. And they started off rural Queensland, but you can basically get them anywhere now. It's whether it be Energex or Sequeb, or it used to be Sequeb, and so. But Ergon Energy is just one of the case studies in this report. There's the rural power stations everywhere, city power stations. They're all mentioned if you go dig through the article. But the reason they mention Ergon specifically is because they have a lot to do with the Telstra sites as well. And basically what was happening was during the disasters, obviously the Telstra phone exchanges, or phone exchanges in general, have backup batteries. And then once the backup batteries go flat, they have diesel generators. So what was happening was during the floods up here, I know for a fact the one at Goodna lost power about halfway when the floodwaters got halfway up their height. It lost power, so it dropped onto batteries. But the batteries only lasted, I don't know, probably, I think they lasted something like 10 or 12 hours, and then after that it kicked onto the generator. The problem is the generators only had 12 hours worth of diesel. So in less than a day, the entire telecommunications system possibly could fall apart. So in some of those areas that are worst affected, they're now saying, look, we need to come up with better options because if we don't have communications and we don't have power, we really don't have any way of affecting a decent, evacuation or emergency plan. So now basically they're implementing more solar panels, more batteries, and they basically state now that they have to have a lot more diesel on board for the generators. But the upside is they'll actually be employing more staff because they're now going to actually be having more or less one person who's responsible for one exchange. So in the case of an emergency, their sole responsibility is to keep that exchange operating, whether it be a power sub exchange, whether it be a telecommunications exchange, whether it be a whatever. So the idea is that then anybody who's on that with data or with, they can get emergency SMSs, they can get emergency phone calls out, and the networks won't gradually drop off and hinder in the rescue process.
Yeah, so that's Ergon. So is that around Queensland, or is that just all over, or who knows?
I know Ergon is Queensland. Oh, well, northwest.
But do these guys actually have their own power stations, or are they just resellers?
No, basically it's, years ago it was called Sequeb, which was Southeast Queensland or Southeast. Yeah, Queensland electronic provider or something, electricity provider.
Board.
But yeah, that's right, electricity board. Yeah, Sequeb, not WEP. And over the years they've changed. They went through Energex and then Origin, and they're just one of the different subsidiaries of the company. They're all intertwined, I suppose.
But isn't it? No, I thought that. So Sequeb still exists, but only as the wholesaler, like Telstra.
Telstra, yeah.
So Sequeb's now the wholesaler. Then now you've got the Origin and your whatever Australian electricity and all this sort of stuff. That's all resellers.
Which is I think why they were using those in this article, because they're talking about Ergon's towers, and then they're talking about Telstra as well. So they're sort of comparing them and whatever. But because Telstra's like, well, if we don't have any, now why have we got to foot the bill when they're not our towers? And like, well, hang on, they are, because you own the infrastructure. You're leasing them to other people, but ultimately, do what you will, but you're responsible for that chain, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so a lot of things happening in the electricity sector all the time. And with the carbon tax coming on, there's going to be more changes, I would imagine. Now,
work well.
Yeah, now moving on. Now Eric, he rings me up through the week and says he's listened to another Audible book. So what have you been doing this week, Eric?
Well, I listened to this one a while ago, but because it's Steve Jobs week, I thought we might have a little listen to the second coming of Steve Jobs. Are we ready?
We are. Hit it, Maestro. Ready, please, Mr. Music.
There you go.
December 1992. It was all going to hell. His followers were abandoning him. His band believed in him. The press, which had adored him for so long, now excoriated him. His money was running out. An awesome fortune nearly squandered. He had made $100 million in a handful of years, and now he was blowing it just as quickly on his failing startups. Within a few months, it could all be gone. Super rich and world famous in his 20s, and now in his 30s, he was what? A has-been? A guy who got lucky once but couldn't do it again? A fallen hero? The victim of his own hubris? He had vowed to show that his precocious success at Apple wasn't a fluke, that the board had been wrong to kick him out, that he could launch another great company and once again change the world with a revolutionary machine. But after 7 years of intense struggle, his new venture, Next, was one of the most conspicuous flops in American business. Apple.
There you go. Did everyone hear that okay? Did you hear that okay, Glenn?
Yeah, that was okay. That was all right.
Alright.
So that's all about Jobsy. Unauthorized.
That's all about John. It basically outlines briefly how Apple started, and it basically starts from when he got fired to when he came back in
Right.
2001.
Because when he was fired, he was that was said he was never coming back. He left on pretty bad terms, I believe.
He did leave on bad terms, and he had a lot of stock in Apple, and he was so annoyed that he sold every stock except one share,
Yeah.
so that he could turn up to their meetings and, give them a bit of stick if he needed to.
Yeah. Right.
He took the money, but developed that Next Systems, which included hardware and software. And the hardware was, extremely expensive, and it was, high-end broadcasting and video editing sort of stuff that they ended up using Pixar. And it goes through his Pixar, the buying of Pixar and all, and the success that brought. The guy's a rock star, let's face it. And in the end, when Apple brought him back, they paid him $600 million for his Next software, which is basically the underpinnings of OS 10.
Yeah. Okay. Right. And then it wasn't long after he come back. That's when all the iDevices starting to emerge.
12 months after he came back, the iDevices started. Yeah.
So he must have had these in his head all along, but just obviously under the old administration.
Had in his head, but he had to find a designer. He found that guy Johnny Ive, and that's between him and Johnny Ive, they've pretty much rebuilt Apple. I would say. Listen to the book called The Second Coming of Steve Jobs by Alan Deutschman.
Yeah.
It's very good. Go to Glenn's website, aussietechheads.com.au. Click on the banner. It'll take you there. Have a search for this book. It's free if you want a trial. And if you don't sign up, you can keep the book.
That's right.
But I suggest you sign up because not only is it great to listen to audiobooks, you can actually learn something.
Yeah, that's right. And they are good quality reproductions or recordings of the book.
They are.
And
very good. This one I played was not too. That's a grab from a low quality format, which wasn't available, 2 years ago when I got this book.
Yeah.
But the grabs are now 256K, so they're very good.
All right. So so if you're interested in audio books and all that sort of stuff, I'm sure you've heard about them before elsewhere. But go to the AussieTechHeads.com.au webpage, click on the link, search to your heart's content, 85,000 titles. Click on the link, purchase through there, sign up through the link on the webpage, and help yourself and help us at the same time. So good stuff.
That's right. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Eric. Now, what else have we got going on? Let's go Skype. Let's go Skype for a minute because that's my next one.
Heavy Apple week, but if someone's got some E3 stories, I'm happy to chime in.
All right. Well, I'll quickly run through a couple of these, get these quickly out of the way, and then I wouldn't mind hearing about the E3. Actually, so Skype has been having a few outages around the place. Users.
Oh, really? I hadn't noticed.
It's completely oblivious.
Worldwide has suffered a second major outage in a fortnight, and this is all after.
Microsoft. I mean, really?
Do you reckon
as soon as they bought it, look what's happened.
But are you serious? Do you seriously think that they got their fingers in there trying to do work?
Because Skype traditionally ran on Linux servers, and Microsoft cannot have any of their companies contractually on Linux servers. And I can guarantee you they would be doing a rollout on Windows servers.
Yeah,
that's right. They're doing it on whatever platform, Windows platform it is. I don't know if they've got an internal Windows platform that they use that we don't know about. But
no, they use Windows Server.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But,
well, I'll tell you what.
All Microsoft employees are banned from owning an iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
For example.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of them have them, but they just don't bring them to the office.
Don't take them into work,
Yeah, because I'm sure you can. I'm sure the listeners out there, you can hear tonight's episode. You can hear the audio in and out. You can. This didn't used to happen. Not as much.
No,
this didn't used to happen.
Microsoft started.
Now,
they're rewriting the back end code to this, and because in about a few weeks we're going to get pop up ads and join Hotmail and all this sort of garbage. You watch.
Yeah. So look,
it's already started.
And look, and seriously, we're just after we record the show tonight. If everyone hangs around, we are going to test drive another system because it is so painful and so frustrating to get this Skype that keeps crashing. The audio problems. It goes insane. It drives you insane, and it's time. It's time to move on. It's time to move on, people. Let's get off this bloody Skype.
not only that, they implemented now. Like I've got a Philips cordless phones that I've been using with Skype since like 4 or 5 years, and they work perfectly until the latest update of Skype. Now they don't work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just wasted. Microsoft bought them.
and
Yeah.
it's the same as all the webcams and all the handycams and everything I used to use on Skype that work perfectly. Now they don't work.
So next week,
Skype 5 doesn't have the drivers for them.
so look, next week we're going to hopefully have another system going. we're going to try our hardest, but look, obviously we'll fall back to Skype if worst comes to worst. But we're really going to look at Uvu. We're going to Will had a look at something through the week, Brosix or something.
Brosix, yeah, Brosix, something like that.
So we're going to have a look. We're going to have a look around because it's time to have a look around. Keep them honest, make sure there's nothing better out there. Now, another little story. Microsoft has mashed together its Bing service, Xbox 360 console, and Kinect motion sensing games controller. Sorry, this might be an E3 story. Hopefully I didn't tread on your toes here, Eric, which includes a microphone.
No, I don't have the E3 story. That's why I wanted someone else to talk about.
Oh, I thought you said you had them.
I've got a
No, I said I'm happy to chime in to the conversation.
All right. Okay, so which includes a microphone to produce a voice-activated media finder. So you say it, and the Xbox finds it. So you want to watch TV, you say watch TV or Xbox Live TV. Yeah, you wouldn't just be able to say live TV, would you? You'd have to go Xbox Live TV, so everyone in the street could hear you.
Don't you wish your wife was like that?
Yeah, don't answer that.
No, that could go to a place where we don't want to go. Well, it's so figure it. Well, what I'm saying. So
Don't dig a hole for yourself.
No. I'm back out. I'm on Facebook. Facebook said that the system. Over face tagging. Facebook said the system was intended to speed up the process of assigning a name to a picture. So what was happening is Facebook's introduced their brand new whiz-bang feature of every photo is going to be ran through the automated system and face tagged. You have to opt out, not by default, but you have to opt out. So you got to go in and go, no, I don't want this. So
what, you mean like Picasso's been doing for the last 5 years? Or 3 years or something?
Yeah, but that's not online. That's not.
I don't know
what
what the big deal is. You can tag your friends' photos on it anyway, so I don't know what the big deal is.
And as it is, you can tag them, and they've still got to say no if they don't want to be tagged
That's
anyway.
right.
So I mean, it doesn't make any difference.
And you can untag them.
Oh, look, I suppose to know that I suppose to some people, and I guess this is to play the devil's advocate here, is and it's saying that, well, why should I be automatically tagged? Like, if I'm not tagged, we'll just let it be to be automatically tagged. Well, that means, because
you use Facebook, and part of Facebook's terms and conditions is they can do whatever they want to your intellectual property.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. Yeah, look, I don't have a drama with it. I think if you get tagged, you get an email saying you've been tagged, and then if you don't like it, well, you just get rid of it. And apparently, once you say delete the tag, then no one else can come back and tag it again. So
yeah.
So it was introduced in the US though in December 2010, but it's only been launched globally. The social network said that it should have done more to notify members about the launch. So its tag features scans photos and automatically picks out existing friends. That's what we said. Blah, 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 blah. Another little quick one. Wimbledon finals to be first 3D broadcast on the BBC.
Well, that's not too bad because I like watching the girls play, so that might be all right.
Yeah, you might be able to go Xbox Live. The BBC will broadcast the men's and women's singles finals at this year's Wimbledon Championships. Free to air will be available to anyone who has access to 3D TV and HD channels. Now, here's one. I don't know if you'll find this interesting or not, but it's only available in the UK from the iTunes, from the iPad store in the UK. But I'm sure you can get around and grab it if you're interested. But more than 60,000 19th century books are being made available by the British Library. The iPad app will be launched in full this summer, which will be the English summer, so about now. But then 1,000 titles can be browsed for free. All titles are in the public domain. Include Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist. Unlike ebooks, the app uses scanned copies of original editions. Look, I just pulled that out because I thought that's good. I just like that sort of stuff. And it's not available in the Australian store, but I'm sure you can work out how to get it if you really want it. So, yeah, so there you go. Now, what else have we got going from you guys? Let's go. Will, what have you got?
Well, as we know, on the last on the E3, they announced the Wii U or the Wii. No, the Wii U, as opposed to Wii. That's different. And It's quite an amazing looking little contraption, actually. They've got
What is
the
it?
full on the Wii. They've updated
The
to the
Wii
Wii
U.
U. Yeah.
Mm.
The actual controller now has a 6.8-inch LCD screen. Oh no, the controller
It's got an iPad. It's got an iPad.
The screen the whole controller 6.8 wide and 10.5 long. So I think it's got like a 5-inch screen in it or something. It's got internal flash and it's expandable via SD. It's got 25 gigs. So I'm assuming that's Blu-ray. No, it wouldn't be. It'd be double-sided. I don't know. It doesn't say what it is. It just says 25 gig media drive. Built-in accelerometers, gyroscope, speakers, front-facing cameras, microphone. Oh, it's 6.2-inch touchscreen. There you go. It's got all sorts of weird and wonderful things. It finally does 1080p high-def video. It's compatible with the HDMI, normal component, SCART, S-video, that sort of thing. It has the same processor technology that they used in what's it called? That IBM thing that beat them on Jeopardy or whatever it was.
Oh, that big supercomputer thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got the same technology design on the processor and everything
Watson.
as that. So Watson, yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's something to watch out for. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, the whole reason the original Wii was so popular is just because of its simplicity. I'll be interested to see how something that's this complicated will sort of function successfully, you know. But just in case you didn't want to upgrade to that yet, for the release of the new Zelda game, they've released the gold Zelda Sword Wii remote thingy.
Oh, yeah, nice. Isn't it the anniversary, 30 years or something, anniversary of Zeldas? Is that why they're bringing them back?
Is it 30 years?
I don't know, something like that.
But yeah, it's
40 years.
something like that. But yeah, and they've got the gold thing, and so that's pretty neat. And just to not be outdone, Star Wars for the Old Republic's coming out, and
Yeah,
that's
right.
got everybody. I think it's just come out. It's got everybody sort of all in a tither about that. But they've got a new, what is it, like this new device thing. It's like a keyboard, a normal keyboard on one side, then it's got what looks like on the other side of it a touchscreen LCD display with all these preset touchscreen buttons and stuff. It's like something you'd expect to see in the cockpit of a TIE fighter. You know, it's
Yeah. Oh, it sounds
pretty
good.
neat.
So yeah, because I know that the Wii, like I've got a Wii, and I don't really use it that much, to be honest. Like, it doesn't grab my attention. But
Most people don't after the first 6 months.
yes. Yeah, well, I'm one of those most people. All right, Eric, you got anything?
I got nothing.
You're out. Eric's out. Will?
I'm
All
out.
right. I'll roll three. I've got 3 Google stories.
Yeah.
Kind of roll them together. Obviously, the one that was probably most people haven't noticed is the new version of Chrome OS is out, or Chrome browser is out. I won't call it Chrome 12. That's what they call it. But that's sort of, it's hard to give them a number when they integrate so well. But there's actually a demo up. If you go to the show notes and go to the Google rolls out safer and snazzier browser link, there's actually a link in there that will take you to a HTML5 browser sort of experience. And what it is it's really neat. I mean, it's pretty basic. You guys, I don't know if you've heard of Shaun the Sheep.
Yeah, of course I've heard of it.
Yeah, Shaun the Sheep's awesome. Of course, Mel Brooks, you've got to love it. But what it is it plays the video in the middle of the screen, but you can do things like you can tilt the screen. You're sitting in the audience, basically, like you're sitting in the cinema and the sheep all around you watching this movie. And you can tilt the screen so you can look at it from different angles. You can resize it all on the fly without it doing any sort of browser readjusting at all.
Yeah.
So it looks really cool, the sort of technology between HTML5. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Just going back to to one of the first stories that we were talking about, is they reckon that the reason why the new Line software, the OS, is relatively cheap. You call it cheap, $32. You call that very, very cheap. They say is because they're feeling the pressure from the free Google OS, and they don't want it to get any traction, or as little as traction as possible on machines. So and
Plus
hopefully
and all the social
mobile
integration as
business
well.
should be free too.
The mobile version of what? Sorry.
The Mobile Me, they got that their mail Mobile Me, which was $130 a year or something for 5 email addresses, and it's like Google App, Google Mail, and Google Calendars and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's free now. They're not gonna. That's
Yes.
no longer paid.
That's going to be. That's going to be replaced by. Isn't it going to be replaced by one of these new services, or is it?
No. The whole services have been put under the iCloud banner. So everything under iCloud, for example, there's the mail version is going to be still called Mobile Me, but it's all going to be handled by iCloud.
Yep. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But it's all going to be free. Now, I was just playing while Will was talking there, and one thing I just noticed with the Lion iOS, it's got GPS tracking on it, assisted GPS on the software. Now, if you can see this, I'll hold it up to the camera. That's where my MacBook Pro is.
Yeah, right.
All right, tells you. I don't know if you can see it on a map.
So that must Does that triangulate from your
triangulates based on the what you call it, the
internet,
IP address. Yeah. So if someone nicks your computer, you can find them.
Yeah.
So this will tell you. Then I can play a sound or a message that tells the guy to, you stole my computer, you bastard. So if I send
bring it back. So the dog's on you.
There. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Bring it back. So the dog's on. So this sound pops up on the computer if the guy's stolen it. It tells him that the police are on their way.
Yeah, the Android one. That's what I was saying the other week too. The Android one does that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I think we had a story last week about a guy that started taking photos of him. The Mac started taking photos and emailing it back to the person who owned it. So good stuff. Good stuff. About time the goodies got something back from the baddies. Yes. Yeah. That's right.
So,
couple more.
I'll quick finish off these other Google ones. One of them was we all know Google Maps. I mean, most people use it. Even if they've got iPhones, you'll find a lot of people use Google Maps for navigation. One of the downfalls with it is it has always been on demand. So you've always had to, download it live as you're going. But it is now the new version that's coming out will have a offline mode. So it's your choice. You can either download everything from, if you've got enough room, the full map of the world of every street if you wanted to, or you can just do it. Say you're still in a 3G area, for example, but you know that you're not going to be, then you could just download your particular route and maybe the neighborhood that you're going to. And so that once you drop signal, you'll get that.
Yeah.
So I reckon that's pretty neat because that's been the biggest problem. They've got the voice integration, the turn by turn. They've got the traffic integration. They've got the quickest routes. They've got live everything. But the biggest problem has been is you've had to download it on the fly. But now that you haven't got to do that, I think it'll, Garmin and TomTom and all those boys had better watch out because that was really the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I've got the TomTom app on the iPhone and it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, well, it's TomTom. I mean, it's every bit TomTom on a different box, basically.
Yeah, it's really good. And what I like about it is I use the Google Maps on the phone, and because it's constantly using data for the GPS, because it's downloading the maps as you need it, it just sucks the life out of the battery and the data, obviously. But TomTom, the maps are loaded on your phone.
That's right.
It doesn't suck any data at all, which is what I like.
But that was wasn't that $100 for a year?
No, it was $100 forever.
Yeah, and then you pay. Do you get the free updates, or you've got to pay for the update?
Yeah, free updates. Okay. No further cost.
Well,
it's pretty cheap. Yeah.
But then, once this Google Map comes in, you're going to be able to get it for free. So.
Well, if the Google Maps is on my device, then I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's right. And it's also going to do the full 3D thing experience as well. So you can do the whole live street view for the altered reality as well. So you can actually use the street view if you prefer. But yeah, so that'll be at the very least it'll be entertaining.
Yes, that's right.
Well, yeah, it'll give me a buzz for about a week or so.
Those buzzers, they fade fast, don't they?
Yeah, well, that's it. I'll use that.
And it's sitting there gathering dust, so that's just proof in the pudding, right there.
Yeah,
I actually do that quite a bit I've noticed quite a bit on on my Android phone. I'll download. Oh, that looks like a cool app. I'll download it. I'll play with it like 3 times, and then I'll just delete that now.
Yeah, the buzzer's gone out of my Wii as well.
Have you had that looked at?
Yeah, I hope it doesn't hurt.
No, I look at it every day. It just sits there.
Well, no one else looks at it, so you might as well.
It doesn't do anything. No one uses it.
It's because
No
you
one
got to
uses
grab
it.
it and wave it around a bit.
No one uses your Wii. That's a bit sad, mate.
Oh no, I'll get rid of it one day. All right. That's enough of fun.
Isn't
and
that just a nunchuck
frivolity.
you're supposed to get rid of?
Yeah.
Okay, so the other thing that's happening too, to make people aware, is they may have listened to the story, will be probably 4 weeks ago, maybe 5 weeks ago, how we're talking about the last lot of the IPv4 IP addresses had been sold. They're gone. No more IPv4 addresses available in the world.
Yeah, that's right. And I just found out today my home router doesn't support IPv6, so
Most
That's good.
residential devices don't.
Great. I just
well-
bought a new router.
does.
But it might be too much of an issue for the average person because it's only really going to be businesses and net providers and things like that that are going to have to worry about the transition because they'll just emulate an address and we'll get the emulated address. So at the end of the day, it won't worry us. But on 8th of June, there's a worldwide trial of the new IPv6.
That was
And
yesterday.
so far, there's 400. Yeah, it was, unfortunately. That's right. This is a story I was going to do last week, but didn't get around to it.
But apparently it's still current though because it went for 24 hours. So it started at something like GMT.
Midnight, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, midnight GMT Wednesday. So it's probably still going.
Probably is, yeah, till midnight tonight. And there's, at the time this story was done, there's over 400 organisations taking part. And basically what it is they're swapping over to see if there's going to be any downsides and any address routing issues and any general issues, or in swapping over if there's going to be speed sacrifices or if there's going to be ping sacrifices, or if it just turns out their hardware is completely incompatible and they're going to have to fork out a whole heap of money to upgrade. So it'll be an interesting test.
Yeah, taking part in the test of World IP6 Day included Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and Yahoo. And if you don't know what we're talking about, IP version 6 provides more than 4 billion times more addresses than IP version 4. So every device that connects to the internet has got an IP address, and we're running out, and that's why they're bringing in these new ones. So apparently,
hang on a sec. That June 8th one was just the start of the rollout. They're actually going right through till tomorrow. Some places like the Bureau of Meteorology, ARNet, and a few other places will actually be starting their trial tomorrow.
Google said, Google, who's enabling the IP version 6 on Google Search, Gmail, YouTube, and other services, said that the vast majority, and pointing to the figure of 99.95% of people will be able to access services without interruption during the IPv6 test. Now, this either they'll connect over IPv6 or their systems will successfully fall back to the IVP4. Well, that's hard to say fast, isn't it? Yeah, so there you go. Hundreds of companies, organisations, and institutions around the world took part, as Will said.
I reckon TPG's been trying it for the last 3 days.
Yeah, they might have.
I have had nothing but problems with them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's that problems with TPG. That's why I went off them.
I've never had a problem with them before.
Yeah, I've never tried them.
It's just all of it. I actually don't think I can blame TPG because I have a sneaking suspicion the Dynalink modem, although fantastic for statistics, just about every review I've read of it says after 2 years you have to replace it because it will fail, and this is 3 years old, so it's entirely possible that's just it.
Now, many of you guys got a LED monitor?
LED?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I
A
bought
friend of
one.
mine's got an LED TV.
I bought one through the week. Cheap as chips. Like a little one. Only a little fucking...
Oh, that's right. That's right, you did too.
And, yeah, it's great. It's great. Like, I bought it just for the bench, so I could work when I'm putting something together. I can, just have a monitor. I just had a normal standard square one, but for my purposes, I needed a widescreen, and plus I like the look of these LED ones. And, yeah, they're great. Yeah, they apparently use a lot less power, and they're great.
Good
nice
picture.
Oh, perfect picture. It's great. It's perfect. And it was $100. He's so cheap.
A friend of mine's got as I said, an LED high def Samsung TV. And he's also got his older high def Samsung from a couple of years ago. That's just a normal LCD, and it obviously, as all LCDs do, doesn't quite display black properly. But this thing, the blacks on it, there's 14 different shades of black in within a 1 inch thing. It's just it's fascinating,
Oh yeah, look, definitely. If I was going to buy another monitor for my actual workbench, well, not the workbench, I don't want to confuse everyone, but the ones I'm sitting in front of me right now, I'd be interested in having a look at these LEDs because I was impressed. I was really, and even though it was only 18.5 inches of the screen, so what? It was great. It was great.
Not always about the size,
Yeah,
but
well, that's
actually, if I was going to buy these days, if I was going to buy a screen for my workshop, I would just buy a USB monitor because they're only small. They're only a 10-inch screen or something, but because they're small, they don't take up any room, and you don't even need a functioning video card in the system. So it's great for diagnosing problems because if there is a problem in the video card, it'll still boot. You'll still be able to see what's going on. And they've just now that USB 3's come out, I think it was Samsung. I haven't got the story in front of me. Has just released a 50-inch high def OLED LCD TV or monitor. Running off USB 3 because there's so much data available on USB 3 now that they can run a dual screen off that.
Yeah, no, it was good. I just thought I'd throw that in at the end because I was happy with that. I bought another router. I'll let you know how that goes next week. And the reason I bought another one of those was because I don't know what I've got now is I've got the ADSL modem, which leads into a wireless router, and I'm thinking I don't like that. So I bought one that had both in the one to make things easier.
Yeah, I've got a D-Link like that, but I've never had it. I've never found it to be super reliable. But then again,
this one will be.
You knew, Glenn, I had dramas at the office last week, didn't you?
Yes.
Both my connections went down.
Yeah, what was the story there?
Well, they went down, and they said it went back up, and I thought, no, it hasn't, because one connection is still running at 1 megabit down instead of 8, and the other connection wasn't working at all, and it normally does 11 or 12.
Yeah.
So in the end, what happened was there must have been a spike or something. Both my routers were burned out. I had to replace them.
They're not those bonded ones.
No, not the sorry, restart. Not the big router. The ADSL modem that I use as a bridge.
Right.
I had to replace both of them.
Yeah, right. Jeez. What did that? You don't know.
$140.
Yeah, right. You could probably get that back from the electricity people.
No, I got 1 month's free internet off the blokes for both connections, so I was happy.
Oh yeah, that's all right.
Wait for it.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, we might leave you now that we're on a happy note.
Happy.
Everyone's happy, so we're out of here. All right, well, that's it. We've gone the hour, so that's it. And once again...
Just quickly before you go, I'd just like to let everybody know that TBT is still around. We're just going to be shuffling it to Tuesday nights for timing reasons. And if you're interested in becoming a co-host or wish to have your own show on the network, give us a hoy, either Glenn at aussietechheads.com.au or TBT at thesecrethub.com.
That's right. And so anyone out there who wants to give Will a hand and maybe co-host every now and then or co-host permanently, whatever, I'm just pulling back from a Thursday night. Need to get some sleep early, more sleep. It's all good. Makes me talk properly. All right, that's it. That's it for episode 242. Thanks for everyone for in the lounge. Thanks. I can't go through these all.
Hanging around, being patient with us in the beginning of the show there. We lost about 4 of you, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're off to test another system. So that's good. Thanks. Thanks.
Brad, Clinster, Frosty, Monaro.
And Brad.
I've got to get an audiogram for that now.
Yeah. All right. That's great. Okay, so thanks, guys. And don't forget, just call in next week live.thesecrethub.com. Call into Skype or whatever. Contact us, send us a question, ask us anything, and we'll be happy to do it for you. Will's done a video on installing Windows 7, check that out on his YouTube or wherever you can. Where can you find that, Will?
Yeah, YouTube's probably this way. Or you can just go to. Actually, I don't know if I've put it on the live stream channel yet, but otherwise it would be on the live stream channel. But yeah, just go to Mr. William Tompkinson. I'll throw a link up on Facebook or Twitter or something like that, or on the show notes.
We'll find it. Okay, good stuff.
In a few weeks, I'll probably put a video up of my setup here at the Net Channel Studios.
Yes, I'll be very interested in that.
In the Sydney studios. Well, yeah, because I know Brad wanted me to do a photo of my setup as well, but I'm just so lazy. I just don't do it.
Might have to clean up first, Glenn.
Yeah, probably. That's right. That's what's holding me back. All right. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you. Ta-da.
See you later, guys.
See you guys.
Okay.
Hey, GarageBand didn't crash. Woohoo!